Hi everyone, my name is Mallory Fletchall. I'm a content creator based in Brooklyn. Welcome to my home. Starting with the entryway, we have this really cool painting by Chuck Webster. We actually got this last year, and after putting up some moldings, it fit perfectly within it, so this was the obvious choice to go here. I would never typically think to put a dresser in a living room, but we actually love it here. It's so great to have the extra storage. And then right above it is my husband David's painting of Venice. We went to Italy about 2 years ago and he's made a bunch of paintings and I just want to sprinkle them throughout the house. This lamp, I have to say, is the coolest lamp I've ever owned. It moves, it's gorgeous, and it was actually a find on Kayo. On the mantle, you'll see this black summer cover. We actually added this ourselves when we moved in. It was completely open, but we have 2 cats, so we added this and I actually really love it. You will notice that I have a lot of mirrors. This is one of many, so just bear with me. This is where I love to sit. It's by Sarah Ellison. She's based in Australia and her furniture is stunning, but this chair in particular, it feels like sitting on a cloud. I'm telling you, the most comfortable chair I've ever owned. So pier mirrors go between the 2 front windows, typically of a parlor level apartment. We're kind of recreating that look here with this one, and I love it. We found it just down the street, and it happened to be the exact measurements we needed, which is crazy. And this chandelier is definitely a statement piece. I fell in love with it. We put it on a dimmer so it can get nice and cozy in here, and the crystals throw the most beautiful light. As you can see, it's quite low though, so we had to put the coffee table directly under it. And I can't talk about our living room without talking about our pink sofas. The one comment I always get about these is they look so uncomfortable, but I promise you they are so much cozier than they look. Our record storage here is a really special piece because we actually made this about 10 years ago out of plywood. Last year I wanted to give it a bit of a refresh, so we added molding all to the front, some casing at the bottom, and we gave it a nice fresh coat of paint, and I love how it looks. It also kind of plays off the moldings throughout the house, and it's just such a special custom piece. What do you know, we've got another mirror. This one isn't gold, but another giant mirror. It fits perfectly between the moldings we just put up, and then we actually got these candle sconces that I felt fit perfectly on either side of the mirror. I fell in love with this room when we first came to see the apartment because it was just really open, sunny. These are some knobs that we added because I'm a brass gal. And then of course we've got our Smeg. I have always been a huge fan of Smeg appliances. This right here is probably the crown jewel of the kitchen. It's an antique Swedish table from the 19th century, and we found it in Hudson, New York, antiquing, and it was just the perfect size for this kind of open space. And then over here is another antique that we kind of use as a bar cabinet in lieu of a bar cart, and we have our candle sconce right here. So these were the only original moldings in the entire apartment when we came to see the place. We mimicked these throughout every other room. And then this is our brand new tree. We just got it. This here that it's on is called a pier table, and it's supposed to go with the big mirrors you will see throughout our space, but the ceilings here are quite a bit lower than we've typically had in the past. So we're using it here as a plant stand, and it's doing just fine. Another thing I really love about this apartment is even the radiators have this beautiful pressed detail on them. Just absolutely stunning. Having a fireplace in the kitchen I felt was a dream come true. This is also one of my favorite little things I have, these tiny lamps. They fit anywhere, and I've now collected a couple of them. Over here, we have this amazing antique cabinet. We keep our special mugs, some glassware. You'll notice these sprinkled throughout our entire apartment. They are a library of great painters, all vintage that I have found on eBay. And I also collect these Dutch houses that you typically get when you're flying KLM Airlines. And then we've got this guy. The colors were so vibrant, the look in his eye, we really were drawn to him, but you know, not everybody loves him, so he's He's our guy though. I still can't believe we have this kind of outdoor space in New York. This right here is why I knew this apartment had to be the one. I really wanted to make it happen because it just feels like such a luxury, and I'm extremely grateful to have this. We just actually updated all of our outdoor furniture with the set from McGee & Co. I love it. I feel like it's really classic. You're here at the perfect time because the big white dogwood tree that's out here just bloomed, and it's so stunning. All right, you've seen the outside. Let's go ahead and head upstairs. When you first come up the stairs, you are met with the bathroom. We actually added this wallpaper ourselves last year. We also found this window pediment. It's a plaster pediment that we put up and swapped out the sconces in the mirror. This little antique hook that we put our towel on, but then I also like to put either a candle or, diffuser up here. It was an antique piece that we found and we kind of made it into what it is, but I'm still waiting on a brand to make one of these. We decided to paint this room in a lime wash, our first time ever using it, and I just loved how it looked in the sunny room. We've got another big gold mirror that I love, and this is another piece that my husband David painted. It's actually based on a Matisse painting called The Dream. We found this frame on the street, and he was like, okay, I want to make something that can fit in here, and made this. And only a few weeks ago, this was actually our lounge. This is where we watched movies. There was a big sectional right here, but we decided to swap rooms with the adjacent room because I really wanted a sunny bedroom. So we just finished the swap. Right above the bed, we have this picture rail. It's from Pepe and Carol's. It's such a statement piece. I love the elevated gallery wall. So this mantle, I actually found on eBay years ago, and we tiled the inside. It kind of really started my love of recreating the original detail in these historic buildings. And then of course, I love the mirror mantle moment. Here is one of our wardrobes from IKEA that we actually did a hack to make it look like this. We added moldings, we swapped the knobs, we obviously painted and tried to make it look kind of built in. We actually did the exact same thing in this lounge I'm about to show you, so why don't you come on in? This is the lounge. It's right off the bedroom, so it really feels like a suite. It's really nice just to come in here and cozy up. We have storage. This is an IKEA cabinet. I have all my perfumes here, another vintage mirror. We added these moldings a couple months back. I love how much dimension and character they bring to a space. We stripped this mantle. It was painted white, and I just knew there was marble underneath because of the downstairs ones. We ended up stripping about 5 layers of paint, including a hot pink from this. Honestly, just bringing this mantle back to its original glory just brings us so much joy that it was a project worth it, even though we're renters. This is our radiator, and we built out this cover. We had some leftover quartz from an old project that happened to fit on top, and it really elevates the look of this. This is our very first ever pier mirror. I found it on cherish.com, and it was in our first apartment or second, and now this is our third. We've been here almost 8 years. You look all the way up, it's really almost hitting the ceiling, but it would not fit in any other space. And this mirror was a big reason why I wanted to swap the rooms too, because before our bed was right here and it covered so much of the mirror, and I really wanted it to have its moment to shine. Over here, we have our little sofa. It's just us, so we realized we did not need a big sectional. It's from Sixpenny Home. Removable and washable covers is key, especially with animals. And this big painting right here was a thrift store find. It was $40. We actually bought it because I just loved the frame, but then I realized the painting itself was stunning. It's been hanging up here ever since, and right behind it is actually a door that we just covered up. We started thinking about how we could obscure this door that we never used so that we could put our sofa in front of it. And we just put some board up, we mimicked the moldings, painted it, and honestly, I feel like we did a pretty good job. It's not invisible, but it's certainly not as noticeable as it was before. And you may notice there's not a lot of closet space here. That's why we put in these IKEA wardrobes. And that's because we actually opted to make our one big walk-in closet a painting studio for my husband, David. This hallway is really an extension of my husband's painting studio. So he has all of his paintings he's working on. And speaking of his paintings, you have to see this one. It is a almost to scale portrait he painted of me a few years ago. I was really excited that we had a space to put it in here because, as you'll see, it's quite tall. This is a really cool sculptural piece by Amanda Martinez. She actually went to college with my husband David, and so we were able to get one of her pieces. It fit perfectly in this hallway, kind of leading into his eclectic, very personal space. As you can see, he's a very organized person and has made the most of such a small space. He works in here most evenings. He has just always maintained a studio space wherever we've lived, so it's really impressive to see what he's been able to do with this small room. And that's the apartment. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like home decor, DIY projects, antiquing, and all that fun stuff, make sure to follow me at reserve_home, where I am sharing our design projects every single day. And thank you so much for stopping by.